please rise for the bride?
Ships on later of the waves of scaring barren summons to the burning flames. Each horizon is a new beginning, rise and rain. Far from the fjords and the ice-cold currents, waving shore over new frontiers. Storms and cycles of a fate determined, shields and spears. Vows of favor or the thrill of thunder, pulled together for the panic kin. Clank of hammers and the crash of thunder, pound within. The echoes of eternity. Calling me. To pluck the strings of destiny.
Excellent. Hello and welcome. Everybody please be seated. We've gathered here today in the love and friendship and family to celebrate a renewal of marriage vows between Joe and Les. As their family and friends, each of you have played a role in bringing them to this day and will support and contribute to their marriage. We solemnize this significant event in their lives and enter into this ceremony in an attitude of respect for their ongoing commitment to one another. This brings us to today's reading. The reading today is from the book of John. Chapter 3, verse 117. You see what I did there?
I did.
And it reads, "We can dance if we want to. We can leave your friends behind. For if your friends don't dance, and if they don't dance, then yea, they are no friends of mine." Indeed, today, this is an event, a day of celebration, drinking and dancing, surrounded by friends and family. The renewal of vows is a legally binding commitment, obligating both of you to honor and protect one another and to value your union above all else. Joe, do you intend today to honor and renew your vow of marriage to Leslie, thereby protecting the bond and love you share?
I most certainly do.
Leslie, do you intend today to honor and renew your vow of marriage to Joe, thereby protecting the bond of love you share?
I do.
Then we shall proceed with the exchanging of the vows and the placing of the rings. The wedding rings are represented and important in all aspects of life. On a Harley-Davidson V-twin engine, there are two pistons. These pistons share two sets of rings. These are designed to keep contaminants out and keep the oil pure and the engine running smoothly. So too in your marriage, your rings are a reminder to keep your oath pure, to defend against external factors and keep your relationship smooth. On a firearm, there are two scope rings. These two scope rings are designed to keep performance straight and true and to help you stay focused during times of stress or pressure. The rings you exchange today are no different. They're a reminder that during times of stress or complications, you will make an effort to keep your marriage on track and stay focused on dispelling any negative issues or stress. With a marital aid, there is also a ring. This ring is designed to keep things firm, strong, pointed in the right direction, and carrying on for a very long time. So too, you exchange your rings today on your hands to remind you to keep your marriage strong and firm and lasting for a very long time. And finally, a ring is a circle. Like a ring, this circle can't be bent and it can't be broken. So too is the Reservoir Dogs Motorcycle Club. They're a close circle of friends dedicated to commitment and loyalty. The club's motto is Fortius Quo Fidelius, which means strength through loyalty. As the club has been through joyous occasions and sad occasions, your rings will remind you to stay strong and loyal to one another in both good times and bad. And if I didn't drink so much, my hands wouldn't shake so much. Today, Joe and Les have prepared their own vows. So Joe, face Les, we have the ring. Please take your ring and place it on Leslie's hand. Please recite your vows.
Before I recite my vows, I have a short story for you. So as I said, before I said my vows, I would just like to point out that I realized very early on in our relationship that courting an English professor turned out to be a very unique experience for me. If I were to ask you, what do you think would excite or turn on a woman? You would probably give me the same answers that most people would, including myself. And for the most part, those suggestions did well, but that one real button, that button, had yet to be found. Every man's journey, right? How to find that button. Then that one fateful day, I had sent a random email to Leslie, like I had done every day before, but when I got home, she greeted me very differently. She had a big smile on her face. She came over, she kissed me very passionately, to the point that it really sent a message and stood out from all the other times I came home from work. So I just had to ask her, what's gotten into you? She said, I read your email today. I said, okay, but I didn't say anything that would warrant such an erotic welcome home such as this. Not that I was complaining. I said, did you also read one of your 50 Shades of Grey books, or maybe one of those with that Fabio guy on the cover? I don't know. Like, I said, I know Showtime has some really racy stuff on TV. She looked at me with a smile so big that the Joker himself would have been envious. And in a sultry voice, she said, no, it was just your email. I asked her, what stood out so much to make you so excited? She came in close. She wrapped her little arms around me, held me tightly, and whispered in my ear, you used a semicolon correctly. I'm not fucking kidding you. This is true. That is a true story. And then she said, oh my God, it was so hot. I said, what? Wait, what? Semicolon? That's what it was? So after that, the last thing I heard was an aggressive, come here. Exclamation point, yes. Needless to say, dinner was late that day. And that was the last thing I remember, or at the very least the last thing I'm willing to share with you anyway. I will leave this with you. That button that all men are looking for, well, ladies and gentlemen, I have found that button. And it wasn't where I thought it was. Are you ready? So that button, it's in good grammar. That's where it is. Who knew? Turns out I was way off. My map had me closer to that little man in the boat. I don't know, right? So that being said, I would like to say that I have I wrote my vows. 95% of them are from my heart, and I wrote them myself. I said, but I did quote, I heard a quote from 2 or 3 other places elsewhere that really spoke to me, so I borrowed them. I said, but don't worry, Les. I cited my sources. I remember basic training. I mean, first semester English. So with that being said, Jules Verne once wrote, if you place 2 ships in the open sea without wind or tide, they will find each other. That one I stole. When you have more years behind you than in front of you, sometimes it's hard to look forward and find your way. You got to know one another, and that light inside you began to shine. And would eventually shine with such intensity that it helped guide me to find where I was supposed to be in my life. Up to